We're in downtown Atlanta for Celebration Bowl 5 that pits the champion of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference against the champion of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And for the third time, it will be North Carolina A&T out of the MEAC versus Alcorn State out of the SWAC. North Carolina A&T comes in for their fourth visit to the Celebration Bowl of the 5 times, and they owned all 3 wins for the MEAC, knocking off Alcorn State twice and Grambling State once in this bowl game. Alcorn State is 0-2 and will be looking for revenge. We talked to both coaches and players in pregame press conferences. Let's take a listen.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. Start with Solomon. You guys were right here last year. Tight game. Didn't come out the outcome that you wanted. Coach Speak says that you got to, one game at a time. But how much have you thought about that game, at least coming into this week?
We just here to pick back up where we left off from last year. Because last year we didn't finish the job. This year we ain't gonna talk about it. We gonna be about it, but we'll let that talk for Saturday.
Charles Bishop, Dr. DeVille's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, Houston, Texas. I wanted to ask you guys have a ridiculous win streak of 21 games when leading at halftime. Talk a little bit about sort of the mindset that you guys get going into the second half of games when you're protecting the lead.
You want to answer that one?
Yeah. Me? Yeah, Solomon, you're the leader of the defense. So.
We like to go into the game, control the game. We like to play our Alcorn brand of football, so that'll take care of itself. But we just got to go out there and do our job, play fast, offense. Got to go out there, offensive line, block, receivers, catch the ball, feeders, do his job, reading the offense well. And we're going to come out on top.
Solomon, if you don't mind, if you'll put the mic back in the... Thank you. Yeah.
Check. Okay. Joe Cook, 16 WAPT in Jackson. Felix, just talk about the emotions you have being back home, back in Georgia, and, of course, being your first Celebration Bowl. How comfortable are you feeling, and what's your mindset, before another big game?
I feel great to be back home. I got lots of family and friends, in Atlanta. So, it's just an honor and a blessing, to be here, and, everything that we accomplished this year, I just thank the coaches for, believing in me. Also, my teammates, they go to war with me every Saturday. So, they give me confidence, and we'll be well prepared for Saturday. We're very locked in. This is a business trip, and we're just very focused.
In the back, Chris.
Hey, guys. My name is Chris Lee from WXI 12 News in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Cover A&T, and, of course, for A&T, one of the big stories for them is Jermaine Martin, how well he's been running, leading the FCS in rushing this year. This is for Solomon, since you're on defense. Mm-hmm. Last year, of course, rushing was a big thing for A&T as well, but I think you guys held him to under 70 yards. I forgot the exact amount. But this year, Jermaine Martin's having a breakout year. Of course, you guys have the key in on him as well. How much is he part of you guys' game plan, and what have you seen from him as a runner as you guys have studied tape?
No knock on his game. He's a great football player, but we like to focus on us, on our side of the ball. It ain't nothing he doing special. The same offense from last year. So we just took notes from that game, from the loss last year, and we're going to pick back up on it this Saturday. But Jermaine Martin, he's a great football player, not knocking his game. But he ain't seen a linebacker like me in the MEAC.
Mr. Miller.
My name is John X. Miller from the Undefeated. And so what has Coach McNair said to you guys prior to the game, given the championship history of your school and what this game means if you win it?
That one for me again?
to any of you.
For me, it'll be real big because coming from my freshman year, watching it from the TV, Tyreek Cohen run all over us and stuff. I ain't like that. So, and then A&T, it's like they just always just slip, they slip up and get it. So it's time. Like it's time out for slipping up. We got to go and take it.
Mr. Pringle, answer that.
Biggest thing for me is this is exciting for me to be able to play this game here tomorrow. Never saw myself being in this position, playing with these guys, being up here today. Coach Mack has led us every year so far. We plan to get him a red jacket that he asked for yesterday, so it's going to be fun.
Mr. Harper?
It'll be very exciting. You know, I'm from Atlanta, so this is my hometown. It'll be an honor and a blessing, you know, to accomplish this with my team. You know, also Coach Mack has led us for the phenomenal season, you know, and we've been very prepared, very locked in, and I think we'll be ready this weekend.
Lee Charles, Joe Cook, 16 WAPT. Just for you, what would it mean for you guys biggest difference for you guys this year?
For this year, I think the biggest difference is I think all of our players have dialed in and realized that this is a huge game for us. And third time's a charm, and I believe it's going to be our one.
This is Lute Williams from the Black College Sports page right here in the front.
Okay.
You know, last year y'all came in and ran for 300-plus yards on the A&T defense that prides themselves on stopping the run. This year, and this is particularly for LaCharles and for Felix, you become more of a passing team. So, Felix, I want to talk about what's your relationship with Noah coming off of last year, being a different kind of team now that you're throwing the ball as much as you are. And I want Charles to talk about what's the difference in terms of how you all are approaching things offensively.
I got a great relationship with Noah. You know, last year I was on the sideline watching the game. You know, Coach White was, you know, mainly telling me to stay focused, stay locked in, because you never know what happened. And, you know, his helmet came off last year in the second drive, so I had to come in and be ready to well prepared to play. So yeah, we have a great relationship. Noah was a great leader for this team, and you know, he taught me great things. The main thing he'll tell me to have great energy. So you know, the whole team responds off my energy. So that's the main thing I say I have for this team and being a great leader this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. This is for all three of you, if you're willing. There are 40 bowl games in the U.S., and this is kind of a new one among the bowl games. I wonder if you could describe how much it's become part of your consciousness when you're out on the hot fields in August, you know, practicing, how much getting here has become part of your consciousness.
I think each year this has been the goal since the Celebration Bowl has, made it happen. We set a goal at the beginning in June that our goal was to get here. So we finished our goal so far. Now we're trying to finish the final one and win.
Piggyback on what he said, we set a goal way before we thought about this. So it ain't like it's nothing new to us. We just here to finish what we started.
Piggyback on what Solomon Lee Charles said, you know, we set a goal since spring, and it carried on to the summer, and now it carried on to the season. So, you know, we work hard each and every day, you know, put the work in and day out. You know, like I said, we had a phenomenal season, so we'll be well prepared and locked in for this game Saturday, and hopefully pull out the win.
Any additional questions? You back?
For Solomon, and then Lee Charles, you can tag in on this. As veterans of the team, you guys have been here. Of course, Felix is going to be his first time. For the younger guys on the team, how have you guys just kind of prepared them or let them know what to expect? Because there's a lot of media, a lot of outings, a lot of stuff you have to do besides preparing for this big game, being focused and locked in. What have you guys kind of told them about, just preparing for this kind of game in this week, really?
I just told them to just come in the game, just be yourself. Be calm. It's no pressure. We came up with a game plan, so that's what we're gonna go. Our Coach Thorne came up with a great game plan. I know Coach Rand on the offense side came up with a great game plan for those guys on the offense side of the ball. But overall, we just here to finish business and do our job to the best of our ability.
For me, I just told him just be yourself, like he said, and relax. It's a big game, but treat it like every other game. Told him not to try to make too big plays. Do your job. If all 11 do the job, we'll get the job done.
Luke Williams from the Black College Sports Page again. What's the thing you focused on most that you have to attack on the A&T defense?
Biggest thing is just doing my job, getting my other receivers open, getting the running game going. I focus on just reading my assignments, doing my job, not trying to make the big play or, trying to get anything out the ordinary. Just doing what I'm told, being coachable.
Piggyback on what Lee Charles said, just being coachable. And they have a great defense. They play very fast and very sound. So, we just got to do what we coach to do and take one play at a time, one drive at a time, one quarter at a time. I feel like we'll be victorious at the end of this battle.
One last question.
And I wanted to follow up with Solomon in terms of what did you see from the A&T defense that's going to be priority in terms of what you have to stop?
You mean offense?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, with their offense.
Nothing really. It's all about us. We watch film just like they do. I know Coach Thorne, he's a defensive strategist, so we believe in what he coaching. So we're just going to do our job and execute. 'Cause we still haven't played that full game yet, so I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Dr. Cavill with the last question.
Thank you. This is Kenyatta Cavill. Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, 12:30 a.m. KCOH, Houston, Texas. Wanted to ask from the defensive side of the ball, Solomon Muhammad, what do you do personally to get yourself focused for this game? And then secondary, what do you do in terms of your defensive unit as one of the leading players on that side of the ball? And then the same question to either Charles Pringle or Felix Harper in terms of what you all do personally, and then for the offensive side of the ball.
First of all, I pray every day, ask God to keep me healthy, keep my mind and stuff, keep my mind right. Just keep me honed into this experience and everything that he brought me to, and to this point. And I know he's not gonna leave me wrong. So, but being a leader on the defense, I just had to be myself and be calm. Because if I get rowdy and stuff, everybody else gonna piggyback on me. Like it's like I'm the tone setter of the defense. So I like to be calm for everybody else. So it's gonna be fun Saturday. So.
I can open up by saying I'm excited about Saturday. I'm excited about these young men that came out and did what they had to do through the course of the season to get to this point. I think at the beginning of the season, our main goal was to get back to the Celebration Bowl, and I thought these young men worked very hard in overcoming some of the things they had to overcome to get to this point. I think losing the game to Grambling kind of was a big help to get these guys tuned back in and refocused. I thought they did a great job of fighting back and getting back to where they need to be in terms of being focused. These young men put in a lot of work, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of this coaching staff that we have that assemble these guys and get these guys to understand the purpose of playing this game and what process it takes to get here. So I'm very excited about tomorrow's football game.
Questions right here in front. Jalen?
How you doing, Coach? Jalen Thompson, AJC. Last year, you guys fell a little bit short of your goal in winning the Celebration Bowl. How's the journey been like to get back to this point, like the practices and just getting the team back in that mindset to know that you guys can come back and win this game tomorrow?
I thought that the biggest thing that we talked about, even when we left here last year, what was it going to take to get back here? And I thought the guys responded very well, understood that the price you had to pay to become champions special HBCU national champion. So these young men came into camp and did an outstanding job of working very hard to get to where they need to be at this point. But just staying focused and the mindset of these young men has been great throughout this whole process. And you know, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. We fought through some injuries. We overcome a lot of stuff to get to this point. So just very excited about where we're at right now. You know, they did a great job of saying that they want to be back here, and that's where we're right now, and I'm excited about it.
Coach Charles Bishop, Dr. DeVille's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, 12:30 a.m., Houston, Texas. I wanted to ask, is there a team in the SWAC that is comparable to North Carolina A&T in their physicality?
Well, you know, the biggest thing is, and we face it all the time, is a pretty talented running back, Mr. Martin, and he's going to run the ball hard. And we faced Bentley from A&M. We faced the guy from Southern, Benton. So it's been a battle, man. And, you know, we faced a tough running game before. So we're used to the physicality part of it from the standpoint of our defense. So when you talk about what they do on offense, I mean, you know, they sound. They do the thing very well. They're not a very complex team. They keep it simple and they're good at it. They got a good offensive line. We faced some great offensive linemen in our conference. Some of the best offensive line in our conference. So just very excited about where we're at from that standpoint. Defensive-wise, they going to do what they do. I think Coach Sam Washington does a real good job of coaching those guys up, playing fast. They're going to play what they play and play fast and be good at it. So we got our work cut out for us as a team. So I told the guys, you know, during the course of the last 2 weeks, what it's going to take to win this ball game. It's going to have to be a perfect ball game from Alcorn State University.
Luke?
Luke Williams from the Black College Sports Page. Coach McNair, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Luke.
Good. Talk about what it required to make a transition from Noah, who most people think of as a running quarterback, to Felix, who has been much more of a passer. What has been the biggest challenge in terms of switching from one to the other? How much did you have to change?
I think the biggest challenge was just the idea of the guys getting an opportunity to play. You know, that's the biggest challenge was. I mean, we know what the guy can do. Just that he had a quarterback in front of him, is Noah. That was pretty darn good. But you know, he got a chance to show what he can do when he got in the Mid State ball game. And I knew when we recruited him how good he could be. It just the main thing is just the opportunity for him to get a chance to play. And he's been leading this offense and been doing a good job at it. Doing the things we asked him to do. You know, that's the biggest key. Once he do the things we ask for him to do, it's easy. I think Coach White does a real good job of putting him in the position to be successful. So that's one of the things that we strive on at that position as quarterback.
Stephen?
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day Coach. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man.
Good. So, yeah, you know, just kind of off that question, you guys at Alcorn have a long history of great quarterbacks, including yourself, all the way on down to Noah now. You guys have won the championship in the division 6 times in a row with 4 different quarterbacks. Just talk about how you guys just develop that next man up. A lot of teams talk about it, but you guys prove it year in and year out.
You know, throughout the whole process of you talking about the quarterbacks, it's all about the preparation part. And we tell our quarterbacks to practice as you're going to start the next week. And, you know, you get the same playbook, you get the same notes, you get the same coaching, but you have to be prepared to play. You got to make yourself ready to play. You have to want to play at any ball game that approaches. So that's the mindset that we have. We tell the guys that practice as you're going to play. You know, it's a game plan for you. You know, just from that standpoint on, I think that these guys respond very well. You know, and every year we won championship, it's been with a different quarterback. So, you know, it's about what Alcorn State University is grooming down on the reservation. So, you know, it's a great thing. It's a beautiful thing, man. So we anticipate on things to work out the right way for us when we talk about the quarterback position.
In the back.
Coach, Joe Cook, 16 WAPT in Jackson. Just talk about how healthy your team is going into Saturday. I know you had some time off, but you guys feel like you guys are 100% going into Saturday?
Well, you know, you're never 100% during the course of a year. You know, you're going to get banged up. it's a physical ball game, man. And during the course of practice, I'm going to have in practice. But right now, I think for us team-wise, I will put us right about 92% being healthy to where we can come out and play a physical ball game as far as this Saturday. We got a couple guys that's going to fight through injuries, but these guys are willing to put it out on the line. Just like I tell them when they come off that field, just understand that you make sure you left it all out there Saturday.
Hi, Coach. Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. I wonder if you could describe how, in a very short life, this bowl has come to matter very much to those trying to make it and be in it.
I tell you what, it gives a new sight on football for both conferences, the MEAC and the SWAC. I think that from the standpoint of where you have something to look forward to at the end of the year, you're competing to play in a bowl game as such this wonderful Celebration Bowl. And I think that John Grant has done an awesome job of putting this Celebration Bowl together. And hats off to him and his staff. They be commended for the work that they've done in terms of the Celebration Bowl. But it is a great thing for HBCU football. Now you can be declared the national champion, the best in HBCU from the MEAC and the SWAC. So I think it's a great idea for both MEAC and SWAC institutions. You get a chance to showcase the universities, national televised ball game, get a chance to see a lot of media on TV. So it's a wonderful thing for both conferences, I think.
Coach, for you personally, what would it mean to win this game, given that you guys have been so close and you guys have had success, dominating your division in the SWAC, but this is the one that you guys haven't really captured yet. What would it mean for you personally to win this game on Saturday?
I can't say nothing about personal, but for this team and for the young men that really play this game, they sweat blood and tears and all that stuff during the course of a year, man, to perform at a high level. Just for me, just to see those young men, this coaching staff, be able to celebrate a victory in a Celebration Bowl and claim the national championship in the Celebration Bowl would mean a lot to me. That's the only thing it means to me, just to see these young men, this coaching staff, hoist that trophy.
Coach, special teams plays a big role in this game. It's been that way ever since it's been in existence. How big is your special teams unit going to have to play to really turn the tide when the game could be bouncing between momentum between both sides?
And that's the thing that I stated. It's going to have to be a perfect ball game. It got to be a perfect ball game, and by perfect, through all three phases of it, we got to be great at it. We got to be great. We got to be solid. Special team last year kind of hurt us a little bit. They had a kickoff return for us on last year, so we got to be great on all phases of it. So. And like I told the team, we have to play a perfect ball game. We just got to come out and compete and can't let our emotion get involved in it. Penalties, we got to be penalty free. Those kind of things that will hurt you in a ball game, we have to stay away from. So the team is well aware of it. Hopefully they'll come out and do the things that this coaching staff has coached them to do through the course of these last 2 weeks.
Right here. Luke.
Yeah, in regards to that, Coach, when you look back on last year's game as well as the first game, anything that you didn't do that sticks out in your mind that you've focused on this time around?
We didn't finish. That's the biggest thing, Luke, and the team know it. We didn't finish the ball game. We didn't complete it. In terms of the things that could have happened during the course of that ball game, the mistakes that we made. Not disrespecting North Carolina, they played an excellent ball game. They did what they had to do to win it. But as Alcorn brand of football, we didn't complete it. We didn't finish it the way we should have. And that would kind of give the guys determination to get back to this point because they know they left a lot out there, and they want to finish it right.
Travis Newsom, HBCU Football Matters. This is from Mac. You know, last year you injured your knee, and you didn't play in the Celebration Bowl. How far along are you right now, considering that you came back to the season pretty much early on, but you did not start the season?
I feel good. You know, as long as I'm able to play, I'm 100%. So I'm ready to go.
Right here, VMI.
I'm Gary Jones from VMH Magazine, and this question is directed to Martin, Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin, you have accomplished so much. I mean, you finished with the 7th overall voting in the nation for the Walter Payton Award. You got 21 rushing touchdowns, and you passed Tariq Cohen. How do you even talk to Tariq Cohen? If so, do he give you any pointers?
Yes, I talk to Tariq all the time. You know, I learned a lot from Reek. When I first got here, I used to watch his highlight tape probably every day, and I still talk to him every day. You know, every time I might break on his records or anything, he'll hit me up, all kind of stuff. You know, it's all love.
Stephen Gaither, HBCU Game Day. This is for Mr. Carter. You've been around since I think the first Celebration Bowl, right? How have you seen? How has this bowl affected the culture at North Carolina A&T in terms of just being something to look forward to, and you guys continue success to get back here?
It's definitely something everybody looks forward to, from the alumni to the students. So we try to make it back here for them.
This is I'm Simone Sterling from the Atlanta Voice News. Mac McCain, what's it like not only representing the MEAC, but also representing the city of Greensboro?
It means a lot. You know, the city of Greensboro, they see us doing our thing on the football field. So a lot of kids in Greensboro, they give them hope. Like, I see a lot of kids that I don't even know them, but they'll know me, and they'll say that I inspire them and stuff like that. So it means a lot that we're doing this for the city.
Right here.
Donovan Dooley, ESPN's Undefeated. For all of you guys, but especially Elijah, you guys have accumulated so much success over your careers, and especially as a senior. What does it mean for you, and what do you think your impact is playing in this game on Saturday?
It means a lot to me, basically because I came here to win, and A&T gave me my only chance to do so. So I'm forever embedded to A&T football, and it's just a blessing to be here, especially with these guys. We're a brotherhood, and I think that's why we continue to come back here, because we know what it takes, and we make sure we do that each and every week. So I'm just glad to be out with these guys, and for my senior year to be back for one last game for the team that gave me a chance. So it's just a blessing.
Carlos?
Carlos Brown with the Carlos Brown Show, Open Mic Broadcast Network, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Did you guys get a chance to watch the SWAC championship game? Did it matter? Or do you have a preference of who you were going to play, or it didn't matter?
Nah. Well, I mean, we watched the SWAC championship game, but it didn't matter. We just want somebody to put the ball down so we could play.
Chris?
Hey, my name is Chris Lee from WXI 12 News. I have two questions, if that's cool. One for Jermaine. With all the accolades, as the guy stated earlier, that you have this season, would you feel like the season will be incomplete without winning the Celebration Bowl tomorrow?
Yes, because I came here to win. I didn't really come for accolades, you know. So I came to win football games. So that's the big picture.
I wanted to ask you about last year's game. You, of course, split the time with Marquell, but you have 4 yards from last year. Do you remember that? Does that sit in your mind? Is that something that you want to change? Is that one of those big motivation points for you for this year's game?
Right. Yes, it is. You know, they had a good run defense last year, and they held us to minimum yards, and that stuck with me for the whole year. And I need revenge.
Jalen Thompson, AJC. This is for anyone that wants to answer. You guys have been building a dynasty, especially with the Celebration Bowl, winning 3 out of the last 4 years. What would this win mean to win a 4th one, and for the senior class to go out knowing that you've won every single time you've pretty much been here?
I think it would just show you the culture of A&T football and the way we do things. A&T football, we have 3 simple recipes of how we make chicken, and we're going to stop the run, protect the football, and win the kicking game. And it just shows you it works, and that's what we're here to do, and that's what we're going to do.
Simone Stanley again from the Atlanta Voice. This is for Mr. Martin. We went through, your accomplishments leading rusher. I wanted to ask you what your mindset was heading to the game tomorrow besides, obviously, run fast.
I just want to be there for my team. Whatever they calling me to do, block, run, pass, whatever it is, I just want to be there for my team and lay it all out on the line and just know that I gave it my all.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, 12:30 a.m., Houston. I wanted to ask you a question about college sports culture, specifically A&T culture. What is the reason for touching the Greensboro 4 statue before a game? Either one of you can answer that.
Mr. Carter.
They showed sacrifice. So every time we step on the field, they were for each other. We plan on playing for each other every time we step on the field.
Hello, this is for the entire team. The big elephant in the room is FAMU's not here. They thought they should be here. Do you give any consideration to the way they think about it, and some of their fans think that if you win tomorrow, they may still have a claim to the championship, although they're under sanctions?
No.
Who was FAMU?
Next question. Right here.
This is for Elijah. Senior year, obviously last game for you. You came in and Tariq Cohen, Denzel Keys, and you were kind of the young guy. You guys didn't get it done that first year, but you guys have gotten it done every year up until now. Just talk about how great, or have you thought about how great it'll feel if you walk off that field tomorrow with the 3rd championship or 3rd win in the bowl game and to complete your career?
Yeah, I remember right after that game in that season, we knew we wasn't making the bowl game. Them 2 guys in particular just came up to me and told me to make sure I get it done my remaining years, and the talent I had and the senior leadership that I could bring to the team. So it's definitely the way to go out my senior year, be here my last game ever, to be in Atlanta for the 3rd time in a row. And it's the only thing we can do is win. And I think that's what I feel like. That's my only goal is to win. So I'm ready to play. And so are my other guys and my teammates are ready to go to war for each other. And it's a family here, so we're ready to play tomorrow.
Chris.
Chris Lee from WXI 12 News again. This was for Khalil. Right before this game last year is when you had your accident and you were on the sidelines before the game in a wheelchair with the cast on your leg. So now, of course, you had a great season. Last game here at A&T, and you didn't get a chance to play last year, of course, and plus Lamar was in front of you. But what's your mindset going into this and being able to go out and you being the one leading the team to a potential championship?
It's a blessing to be in this spot because, like you said, I was in an accident last year. I didn't get a chance to play. So I just look forward to playing in this game the whole year, and I put that chip on my shoulders. And to be the starting guy, it's a great feeling. Go out here with these guys, play a ball game, win the ball game, and come home with that victory for my last college football game.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, 12:30 KCOH, Houston. Wanted to ask, either one of you can answer this question, but talking about the success that this program has had over the last 5, 6, 7 years in particular, what do you attribute to the factors that has created this culture? Players come and go for the most part, different coaching change, but you've been able to have a high level of success. Please provide or share some of the attributes that have come along with that.
I think no matter the coach, no matter the player who's playing, each coach lets everyone know who, as soon as you get here, is bigger than you. And that's our motto around this team, is bigger than you, so don't play for yourself. And I think that's why we sustained success around these last 6 years.
Right here.
Hi, Tanitra Batiste with Bull Bay Radio. I'm based here in Atlanta, so the question's kind of directed to Khalil, but certainly it's a question about the fact that we've got about 6 starters who are from the Atlanta metro area. So when you think about sort of that pipeline from Atlanta to A&T, what's a part of the appeal that's kept that pipeline going over the years, especially through this successful run over the last 4 or 5 years?
We got a lot of great players in Atlanta, but it's a lot of great players everywhere. Like Maine, well, he's from Atlanta, he's from South Carolina, he's from everywhere. But we got West Virginia, we got Greensboro. There's a lot of great players everywhere. So.
Do you think there's something, an appeal, or just something that has gotten players to come from Atlanta to A&T, just so because you have not only so many players on the roster from this area, but a lot of starters too?
Yeah, I mean, everybody likes winning, so that's probably the number one reason.
Luke Williams from the Black College Sports Page. Guys, who is or who are the leaders on the team, and who can we look to during the game to get an idea of how you guys are doing, both on defense and on offense?
I think there's leaders everywhere on the field. There's more leaders than the guy that's up here that don't get to come to these things, but Zach Lazy's the leader. Our fullback, William Simpson's a great leader. Even our third-string quarterback, Kingsley Ifedi, he's a great leader. But there's just things that you guys don't get to see that we get to see in the background of the football, at practice every day, through campus. So there's things you get to see, and that's what brings us all together. Anybody can lead, and everybody can step up, and we got a lot of those guys who do so.
Hold up 1 second. Question.
Simone Stanley from the Atlanta Voice again. I was going to ask any one of you guys, what has been your favorite part about coming to Atlanta over the years to compete?
Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
The game.
Getting the ring, winning.
Playing in those lights.
Not too many people get a chance to play in Atlanta Dome, so it's a blessing to be here.
Yeah, Travis Newsom from HBCU Football Matters again. You know, when you look at the team that you have right now and you go with the SWAC, which is a passing conference, which team have you played this year and had success that would prepare you for a passing team like in Alcorn State?
I'd have to say like Duke. Duke was a good passing team, and Bethune too. So, I mean, I think we ready to play.
Any additional questions in the back?
Joe Cook, 16 WAPT in Jackson. Mac, as a defensive back, how much of Felix Harper have you seen this year? What are some of the things you've noticed about his game and the season that he's had for Alcorn State?
I haven't really got to I didn't really get to see him until the game against Southern. I had just heard about him, but I heard he's a pretty good passer. But we really good on defense too, so we ready.
Right there in the back.
Amanda Ferguson, WFY News 2. You guys that played this team last year and you played them before and won both times. Do you feel more prepared, or how do you guys feel playing this team again?
It don't matter who we play. What our coaches say, it's just about us and how we execute. So if we do those things, it don't matter who we're playing. If we execute our game plan, their game plan not going to matter. So that's what we just got to do. Make sure we do that. Make sure we start fast and finish strong, and everything we put in place.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. You can just open up with a few statements, with a statement, and then we'll ask for questions.
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you so very much for having me. Look forward to being here. Thank you guys for coming out for this press conference. This football game, we're very excited to be here. We love the city of Atlanta. We love this venue, this perhaps the best football facility, one of them for sure in America. And it's a joy and a pleasure when our young men can come and play in a stadium such as Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So we're very excited to be here.
Questions for Coach Washington? Mr. Bishop?
Yes, Coach Washington, Charles Bishop, Dr. Vills inside the HBCU Sports Lab, AM 1230, Houston, Texas. Obviously, the MEAC has had success over the SWAC, not just in the Celebration Bowl, but in the SWAC MEAC Challenge. With your ties to the SWAC, if there's one thing that you could kind of put your finger on in terms of why the MEAC has had as much success as they have, what would it be?
I wouldn't like to share that. I don't think there's any one particular thing, honestly. I think, we've been just fortunate. It's about doing the little things right and well and being at the right place at the right time. And perhaps that's what it is.
It's Gary Jones for VMH Magazine.
Yes.
North Carolina A&T have accomplished so much. And 4 times out of 5 years is a great accomplishment. How do you keep your players kind of calm coming into a national football title, HBCU bowl, so to speak, and they have already accomplished so much? How do you keep them humble?
Well, not to say it's easy, but I think the big thing is the way we do things. Every year we start over. We start over from ground zero and, just start the foundation over and lay one brick at a time. And we build on character. We build on effort. We build on hard work. We build on dedication. We build on the classroom. And we build on the love for each other. And this football thing is bigger than all of us. And if we do it right and do it together, big things can happen for us.
Ken?
Ken Rashad, HBCU Sports. Coach, it's becoming pretty much a constant theme to see A&T in the Celebration Bowl year after year. And to a lesser degree, it's becoming somewhat of a constant to see A&T face Alcorn State. To what degree do you start to call, considering all the factors that go into play into getting to this game, to what degree do you call this matchup a rivalry?
I think we're already there. Honestly, that's a fine football team, and that's a championship football team, and they know how to win. They know what it takes to win, and that's why they're here every year. So it's a challenge for us, and we really want to, be more concerned about us than them, and I'll just leave it there.
Coach, how you doing? To your left.
Okay, how we doing back there?
Hey, how you doing, Coach? Charles Edmond from WPRL Radio. Coach, every season, no matter how good or how bad it goes, there's a defining moment in which the season goes one way or the other. For this team, in this season, what was kind of the defining moment, the turnaround, the Morgan State game, or when did the season kind of turn for you in which, you're here right now? Where did the season turn around for you?
I think it was the Morgan State game. I think we got, I use this word, complacent. We got comfortable, and that was a very pivotal moment. And I can remember after that ball game, talking to the team and saying that this is a pivotal moment. Some either good or something very bad going to happen from here. But it's based on what we do and how we approach it from this point. And they took it to heart, and they turned and finished the season very strong.
Coach Chris Lee from WXI 12 News, Winston-Salem in the back. Good to see you. I know that last year you were giving a lot of praise to Alcorn State's defense, and they really did show up when it came to stopping the run. You guys had less than 70 yards. And so in that game,
don't remind me.
I know. I'm sorry. I have to do it. But I know that that's something that you guys will look at. But what similarities do you see in their defense? And then, of course, I know you don't want to give out the game plan, but is that something that you guys are really keyed in on and focused on, so that you guys can establish the run more in this game and be able to kind of keep that distance that you started to grow in the first half of last year's game?
As far as that go, we're just gonna put a hat on the hat. We're going to put a hat on the hat and try to move them and push. And then give Jermaine the ball. We're going to stick the ball in his belly and tell him to go. And that's it. That's the game plan.
Hey, Coach, right here. Jalen Thompson,
hey,
AJC. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you.
Good, good. Last year I talked to you. You said that Big Mo had a big change in the game that helped you win. And I talked to one of your players, in Elijah Bell. He said that it's how we make chicken, and that was his catchphrase for the culture. So could you explain more about that?
Well, that simply means we're going to keep it simple. I mean, that's as simple as it gets. Our philosophy is first stop the run. And we didn't do a very good job of that last year. They rushed for 300 yards, and I don't know no other team in the country have ever done that before. And so we were fortunate last year. And the next best thing is protect the football. They create many turnovers, many. I forgot exactly how many, but it was a crazy number. 34. That's crazy. And then the last, win the kicking game. I think it's very important that we win the kicking game. That's both coverage and returns. And, have no bonehead plays or silly penalties that'll put us behind the sticks. So doing chicken is very simple, and that's keep it simple.
Chuck?
Yeah, Coach, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post.
Hey, Chuck.
How would you explain to someone who's not from Greensboro what the Celebration Bowl, the concept, the 5 years, all of it has meant to your program and your school?
Oh, man, in so many different ways. I think the one pronounced way is the recognition that we received and on this platform. And, these kids get recognized all over the country from this one ball game. Several students get introduced to A&T education from this ball game. I think 1 month we had 30,000 applicants in 1 month. So that stuff is priceless. I'm sure the chancellor is loving this. So it goes beyond just the athletic side of it.
Mr. Cook in the back.
Coach Joe Cook, 16 WAPT in Jackson in the back. I don't know how much film you've been able to see or, numbers you've been able to look up, but what impresses you most about Alcorn State's offense? I mean, Felix Harper's had a great year up for a variety of awards. What kind of sticks out?
Felix. I think Felix is a special young man. And he's very accurate with the football. He made very few mistakes with the football. I think it's like 30 to 8 touchdowns to interception ratio. So he protects the football. The one candid ability that he has is keeping, drives alive and keeping the play alive and waiting to the very last moment to release the football, keeping his eyes downfield, as he scrambled. Most quarterbacks, when they scramble, they tuck it and run it. But he does a very good job keeping his eyes downfield, still looking for receivers.
Coach, Charles Bishop, Dr. Reveals inside the HBCU Sports Lab. Talk a little bit about the play of Noel Ruiz and how much of a comfort it is to sort of get close to the red zone and know that you could come away with points.
Well, it's always a plus when you have a kicker with his accuracy. And it's amazing to see his growth, from just 1 year ago and God forbid, 2 years ago. But, that just go to show what hard work and dedication will do. And it's amazing. And so we're just happy to have him on our team. He's very confident.
Coach, back here. Maury Swans, MEAC conference office. Coach, outside of the game, can you talk about North Carolina A&T? This is the 5th year, and they've been here 4 times. You've been a part of all of them, 2 as a head coach. 10, 15 years from now, when you all look back, can you just talk about big picture, getting here, that accomplishment? And I think sometimes people get confused at how hard it is to get here. Can you just talk about the process of it all?
I promise that, you said it. A lot of people don't understand how difficult it is to win and what it takes to win and the time and the effort you have to put in to win. And I tip my hat to these young men, who buy in to what we selling. And with the hard work and the dedication and going to class, I don't care if it's snowing, raining, whatever it takes, you get it done. And they do that. And that's the key to our success.
Luke Williams from the Black Collar Sports Page. Coach, describe your 2 years as a head coach at A&T.
Wow. It's been good. It's been really good. And, I had one of the best mentors, in football. And so it was relatively easy for me. And then he prepared me for that day when I was to, take over the rings. And we would sit down and have those little conversations about the do's and don'ts, what to look for, managing people, having the right product, and doing those little things that really matter. And I'll forever be grateful to him.
Coach Chrisley from WXI 12 News again in the back. What team, as you've been looking at film of Alcorn State, but what team have you guys already played this season that they remind you of the most as you're looking at what they're doing and who to key in on?
Well, we talked about that, and I don't really see it, Perhaps Bethune. Tavius Williams was that kind of quarterback that can extend plays and had exceptional speed and can spin it and he could throw it a little bit. So very similar to that style of play. But, Alcorn is a very disciplined team, and that's why they're here. They do the little things well.
Hey, Coach. Grayson Moore with ESPN. You guys haven't shied away from playing some big-name opponents out of conference the past few years, and you've had a lot of success. Elon, Duke, Charlotte, Kent State, East Carolina, and I think you guys have an upcoming game against North Dakota State. So how have those games helped prepare you for the MEAC schedule and then the Celebration Bowl?
Well, actually, I think what it does is give us a measuring tool, a bar, to where we are, and across the board, good, bad, and ugly. And fortunately, we've been able to win some of those ball games, and it gave us a boost of confidence that we were on the right track. We're doing some things right.
Kenyatta Cavill, Dr. Cavill's inside the HBCU Sports Lab, Houston, Texas, 12:30 a.m. I wanted to ask you philosophy-wise in the new early signing period in regards to how has that affected you, particularly having the success with your season extending. Has that been a hindrance or a help in regards to this freshman class that you have coming in?
Well, last year we didn't do very well with it, but this year I think we did. We did a little better. We did a little better, and we were able to sign a couple of high school guys and a couple of transfer guys. And that opportunity to work with them during spring ball, summer, and camp give us the idea that they possibly will be able to help us in the fall.
Any other questions?
Gary Jones for VMH Magazine. Matt McCain.
My man.
How do you keep him balanced? Because, see, he reminds me of a Deion Sanders. People are afraid to throw on his side, but I think Felix is going to challenge him tomorrow.
I hope so.
And how do you keep him from getting bored? I mean, the motivational talk about people not throwing on his side.
That's very easy. He has to go against EBL every week in practice. So his hands are full. I promise you. They go at it. Practice is very competitive. And Zach Leslie, we have quite a few receivers that can play this game. And he has to defend those guys on a daily basis. So no rest for the weary.
Any additional questions for Coach? Got last two questions, here and then here.
Travis Newsom, HBCU Football Matters again. Chris Blair is their big-time player. He, at one point, was the top receiver in all of college football in terms of yards per reception, nearly 25. Now he's still over 21. Is that someone, when you talk about what McCain could do, is that a guy you think about?
Absolutely. As you say, he can play. And Felix knows. He's aware. He knows it. So he's going to try his best to get the ball to him. And he's going to make some plays. It's very important that we make equally the amount of plays.
Chuck, you have the last question.
Yeah, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. Coach, when people try to pick winners in bowl games, the 40 bowl games, I don't try to do it, by the way, but when people try, one of the methods they use is you look at it and you say, okay, this one team is not going to care as much because maybe it had a disappointment at the end of the regular season or whatever. Do you think one of the strengths of the concept of this one is that you're never going to have a team like that?
Oh, we'll never have a team like that. I can tell you that. That'll never happen. That's why we play. We play to win. That's why we're here. We're here to win. No more, no less.
Thank you, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.
TEM Video will be at Celebration Bowl 5 between North Carolina A&T and Alcorn State. We will have highlights and more. I'm Luke Williams reporting for TEM Video.
This has been a TEM Video production.